Are you heading to Walt Disney World during EPCOT's Food and Wine Festival and want to go get your food and drink on, but you're worried that your kids are going to be bored? Well, you've come to the right channel, my friend. Go ahead and subscribe while enjoying the sultry sounds of my theme song.
Hanging with Ginger, chocolate bar, cat cage needs a life. Buffet with burgers, squishy with bar, cat cage needs a life. Cat cage needs a life, yeah.
What's up? It's Kev Cage. Good seeing ya. The EPCOT Food and Wine Festival is the perfect combination of three of my favorite things: a ridiculous amount of limited edition food, rocking out to bands from 100 years ago, and drinking in theme parks. I first went to this event a little over 15 years ago, way before I had kids, and it was awesome. But going with kids is a much different affair. While you most likely want a day to unwind after slumming it in the parks, your kids undoubtedly want to go on rides and stuff, leading to a real conflict of interest. Other channels will tell you the best way to get on the Ratatouille or Guardians of the Galaxy rides, but here, that's like the third order of business, tops. Don't worry, it's possible for the whole family to have fun at the festival, and I'm gonna tell you how. Tip number 1, start drinking early. Okay, you might be thinking that's not really a tip, but stay with me here. On this channel, we encourage responsible drinking, so as always, make sure you have a ride and that you're not getting so hammered that you 1. Can't act like a responsible adult, and 2. Can't keep your kids from annoying other people. That being said, if you're going to do the Food and Wine Festival with kids, you should start your day in World Showcase, where the majority of the food kiosks are. This actually kind of benefits you in 2 ways. While EPCOT opens at 9 a.m., the food booths don't open until 11 a.m., so it's a perfect way to not have to worry about rope dropping or getting up super early. And 2, starting with a drink at 11 a.m. all but guarantees you'll have a better disposition in navigating the rest of the day. I'm half kidding, but really, if you start exploring other parts of the park first, your kids may be tired and more likely to complain that they're bored than if you tackle World Showcase when everyone is at peak energy. And if you see anyone judging you because you're drinking before noon, remember, they're probably just jealous that they're not having as much fun as you. Tip number 2, get the cheese scavenger hunt thing. The EPCOT Food and Wine Festival has a thing called Emil's Fromage Montage. It works like this. You pick up a passport from one of the festival kiosks. They're all over the place. It's free. It's like a map of all the stuff that's there. Inside the passport is the page for Emil's thing. If you buy 5 of the 10 or so cheese items at the festival and ask to get your passport stamped after you've purchased the item, you get a cheesecake dessert in a collectible plastic cup. We still have ours from last year. It comes out whenever we want to feel classy, usually with the box wine. While picky eaters probably won't like all of the offerings, they'll almost certainly enjoy the gamified aspect of finding the locations, getting the stamps, and earning that prize. Even if they're underwhelmed by the prize if you choose to keep it a secret, by then you'll have killed a few hours, so who cares? Disappointment is one of the things that makes us human. The passport itself and the prize are free, but you do still have to purchase the 5 items. But really, you've already spent so much on this trip, what's a few extra bucks to keep the kids quiet with something to do? Tip number 3, do the DuckTales scavenger hunt thing. If you'd rather not spend the money on the cheese, or if you just hate cheese, don't worry, I got you. There's something free to do too, and this, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated things at the park. There's a game called the DuckTales World Showcase Adventure, and it's pretty fun and takes a bit of time to complete. You'll need a phone or a tablet where you'll download the Play Disney app. This is another kind of interactive scavenger hunt type thing that works in almost every pavilion. Basically, you get a clue, you need to find something in the pavilion, and using Bluetooth technology, it makes something in real life activate and move. Pretty neat. The only hindrance of this is that each mission takes place within one country, so if you're trying to move quickly around the loop, you won't be able to finish the mission by the time you're ready to move to the next place. But if you're cool with spending a little while longer in some select countries, this is a great way to have your kids run around helping Huey, Dewey, and Louie, while you enjoy the flauta de barbacoa and a poblano marg. Muy bien! Tip number 4, plan your drinks around ride queues. If you're doing research for a Disney vacation, you've no doubt heard about ways to beat the lines, including rope dropping and lightning lane. But the reality of it is, those things aren't always practical if you want to have spontaneity in your day, or if you have little ones, so you can't traipse back and forth for miles trying to make all of your reservations. On this channel, we don't just forego paying for all the line skipping stuff, we think there's actually some value in waiting in the queue. There are 3 rides in World Showcase: the Ratatouille thing in France, the Frozen one in Norway, and the Gran Fiesta Tour in Mexico with Donald Duck's 3 Caballeros. 2 of those rides usually have very long waits. I'll let you guess which ones. But a posted 60-minute wait time might not actually be that long. And even if it is, you get a chance to enjoy some food and a cocktail that you've brought into the line because there's literally nothing else to do. It's a great opportunity to savor some of the finer festival offerings while making the time gently breeze by. And your kids will be excited to go on the ride. Everyone wins! Tip number 5. Tell your kids to get real. Okay, the reality is that sometimes your kids are gonna complain that they're bored no matter what, because they're in a place that has non-stop stimulation. And the second you pause to do something slower and that steady dopamine drip wanes, you're gonna have some complaints. I get it. But I found this to be a great opportunity to tell my kids to get real. This vacation isn't cheap, and 95% of it is focused around things they want to do, so the adults are allowed one day to enjoy something meant for adults while we try to make it as fun as possible for them. Sometimes, kids, you're just gonna have to be bored, because that's life and that's okay. Think of being bored at EPCOT as like a rite of passage. And if that fails, just make sure you have an extra battery and let your kids watch something dumb on YouTube. Like this video. Hey, are they around? Let me talk to them. Hey there, I'm Kev Cage. I've got a great YouTube channel your adult should totally subscribe to. It's called Kev Cage Needs a Life. I'm much cooler than Logan Paul or Mr. Beast or whatever it is you watch, so tell them to check it out. Anyway, the adult you're with is just trying to relax on their vacation. I know you might be bored, but think of all the fun you've had or are about to have on this trip. There's no better way to show how much you appreciate it than by letting them have this moment. Deal? Okay, you can give them the phone back. And don't forget to tell them to subscribe. And don't drink Prime, it's mostly sugar and it's not that cool. Okay, you back? Great. I hope that helped. Following these tips will ensure that everyone has a great time at EPCOT. All the attractions I didn't mention, just do them on the way out. You can walk on to pretty much anything 10 minutes before the place closes. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an amazing vacation, and remember, no matter what happens, if you're lucky enough to be at the EPCOT Food and Wine Festival with your family, you're lucky enough. See you next time.